This is the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Limited. Does it have everything you're looking for? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I borrowed this Grand Highlander from my friends at Yoakum Toyota. If you want to know more, check out the link down in the description of the video. Here on the front end, we're going to have the LED daytime running lights, the LED projector style headlights, and something that will make a lot of people happy, the presence of LED fog lights. The nice large lower grille and the smaller upper grille, the Toyota Crown logo right here in the center. Not too much here in the way of chrome, but there is a little bit. You will also find gloss black and some matte black finish. This particular model comes in front wheel drive, but all wheel drive is available. We're looking at gloss black 20-inch wheels. You also have the blackout package here. Our side view mirrors are going to check off every box that I know a lot of you are looking for. First of all, turn signal indicators built in. This Grand Highlander, they're heated, they're power adjustable. You have blind spot monitoring built in, and we're also going to have the power folding functionality, something that seems to be a very popular feature among potential buyers. Here is the remote lock, unlock. You're going to be able to open and close your power tailgate, which there's a few ways to do that. You've got your panic button right there. Roof rails up top. We also have a panoramic sunroof. We finish things off here on the rear with the shark fin antenna. There's your rear roof spoiler along with your rear window wiper. Tail lights back here as well. Give it a nice clean look. The Limited logo, as you can see. Now the Grand Highlander, I'm curious, would you rather see that in black? Maybe it'd stand out a little bit more. And as I mentioned, there's multiple ways to open the power tailgate. Here is one of them. You can use the remote, the button on the tailgate itself. You can use the hands-free feature that I just used. And there is also a button on the interior. Under the hood is the 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder that makes 265 horsepower, but a strong 310 pounds-feet of torque, mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Then we'll go over here to the window sticker and take a quick look at the MPGs. 21 city, 28 highway, 24 combined, and 4.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. To gain access to your gas tank to fill up your 17.8 gallon gas tank, you will push that button you just saw me push on the dash area, and you don't have capless fuel fill. Instead, you have a gas cap. On a single tank of gas, you can drive about 356 miles in the city. Out on the highway, that number jumps to 462 miles on a full tank of gas. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of variables that determine whether or not you achieve those numbers. Maybe a little bit under, who knows, maybe a little bit over. You can tow up to 5,000 pounds with this Grand Highlander. And your cargo capacity, depending on how you set things up, we're looking at 20.6 cubic feet to 57.9 cubic feet up to 97.5 cubic feet. And you're going to have a little bit of extra cargo space with the organizer right here. You also have the net, so a lot of options as far as that goes. And you can see some of the other things going on here. Now, there is not going to be any cargo area lighting in this area, but you do have some lighting located up here on the tailgate itself. For those of you who are owners, I'm curious, how well does that illuminate things back here for you after dark? Let's talk about what your second and third row passengers are going to find. Plenty of room with the armrest. It is nice and comfortable, nice padding right there, so it's not hard and uncomfortable. You have your cup holders right here and your nice large door bins. You will also find the shades, the privacy shades that can be put in place right there if so desired on both doors. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, there is your panoramic sunroof. And to gain access to the third row, we're going to pull up on this release. One thing to note about the second and third row seat backs, both can be reclined. All of that is adjustable. And a note of interest, at least based on my experience with other models that compete with the Grand Highlander, I like this area right here that allows to put your foot down here instead of being up as high. It just makes it a little bit easier to hop into the third row. And depending on where the second row seats are set, you can move them back and forth on the rails right there. And you can see there's actually a lot of space. It depends on who's sitting in the second row, but that is nice to see. I like the roof-mounted air conditioning vents. That's always better, in my opinion, than, say, such as what the Honda Pilot has, which are located down in this area. It's closer to the passenger this way and should keep them comfortable easier. We also have cup holders here, USB connectivity, and you're going to find the same thing over here on the left-hand side. There is most certainly no shortage of space. In the second row, not even in the third row, actually quite a bit back there, have our rear seat pockets. Here's our third zone of climate control with heated seats, only heated. I wish they were ventilated, but you can control fan speed back here and all that good stuff. Very easy to deal with. And we have our connectivity options. We have the power outlet right there and a couple of USB ports. And there will also be the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. The sticker price is $57,411. Let's see what else you get for that price. One thing I didn't mention earlier is the fact that you have that power shade right there. It can be drawn back and forth depending on if you want the light coming in from the panoramic sunroof. That's going to be managed right here. You can open and close the sunroof here, and you can see the other controls here on the upper console. You also have a sunglass holder right there. The passenger seat is going to be power adjustable, heated, and ventilated. You can also raise and lower the height of the seat. The only thing missing there is going to be lumbar support. You will find all of those features and lumbar support for the driver's seat. I like the additional space we have above the glove box. Also, another USB port right there. Let's open the glove box just to show you the space within. There's quite a bit. And we'll move over here to the driver's side door. Now, you'll only have seat memory on the driver's side, but controls for your side view mirrors, locks, and your power windows. You can lock and unlock the windows. There's where you turn on your heated steering wheel. And that other button I mentioned to you earlier for opening and closing the power tailgate. There's the release to adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. All of your steering wheel mounted controls are going to be here. And we have a lot of information that we can go through right here if we want to on the driver's display. You have settings right there. I'm not going to cover everything, but just to show you a few things that are here, because I know a lot of you like to know about that kind of stuff, so we try and show it as best as we can. And you're just going to use the controls right here to work your way through all of that. And I think you know what else is here as far as the steering wheel mounted controls go. Everything for your front and rear window wipers are here, and for your turn signal indicators, your headlights, taillights, and your fog lights. And the center screen, nice and large. You've got your volume button right there to turn the radio on and off and adjust the volume. And there's a lot going on here. You can wirelessly pair your phone. You've got navigation built in. There's actually a lot here. Depending on what you want to do, you can go into climate. And the good thing is that you do have all of your physical controls right here for your climate control. So don't let that make you think that all you have here is controls within the screen. A lot of vehicles going to that in this day and age, but I'm glad that we don't have that as far as the Grand Highlander goes. And there's your trip information if you're curious about that. And you'll see some of the information that shows up right there. And when we go down here and push this button that brings up our camera views, we have a couple of different views to look from. Very nice. If you want to pause the scene right there or the shot, you can do that. If you need to look at something, whatever you need to do. And then we also have that same view, a surround view from this vantage point. Very nice to see. That's always very convenient. I like that. Something that's a little bit different from the majority of automakers out there, but it is a simple system to learn and use in my personal opinion. Tell me what your thoughts are. Some people might say differently. And if you're wondering what we have right here, this is the built-in factory dash cam from Toyota. Nice to have that. The day is likely to come when that's standard equipment on all vehicles, I would imagine. I don't know how long it will be before that happens, but I think it will at some point in the future. As I mentioned, you have the heated seats for the driver and the passenger. We don't need that. This is what we need today, the ventilated seats. And you can see everything else that is here as far as your climate control goes. We will also have the button to start and stop the engine. There's another USB port, 12-volt power outlet, another USB located right here. And you have your conventional style shifter, and depending on if you're feeling sporty or not, you can bump it over to the left like that. You see the M. You can shift up or shift down through the 8-speed automatic transmission, just like that. Your cup holders are here, and here is your power parking brake, your brake hold, if you want to use that, and your traction control can be turned on and off right here. If you want to turn that off and attempt a front-wheel drive burnout, you can do that. I don't necessarily recommend it, but you could. And your drive modes. We're going to have normal, eco, sport, and snow. And as you work your way through the different modes, it will also tell you on the driver's display the mode that you're in, although everything basically looks the same when you do that. And then the center console, a reasonable amount of space within that area. All right, let's get out on the road for a quick test drive. The first thing I notice about driving the Grand Highlander is that the ride quality is good. The driver's seat complements that because it is very comfortable, and with a lot of adjustability built in between the seat and the steering wheel. Anybody who wants to drive should have no problem seeing, unless you're really, really tall or really, really short. But I think those that are 6'2", 6'3" should be just fine here, and those that are around 5 feet tall, no problem where that is concerned. And a good turning radius for a midsize SUV, will actually demonstrate that here shortly when we make our legal U-turn. But everything here is very easy to get to, and when you need to get up to speed, I know a lot of people are going to wonder, how does that 2.4 liter 4-cylinder handle getting up to speed when you're out on the highway? Well, it doesn't seem to be a problem. I'm not going to go too aggressively hard into testing that, but driving in normal mode has done a good job for me. Haven't had any trouble where that is concerned. And we'll make our quick turning radius, or our quick turn, and show you the turning radius here. But I am going to wait for this vehicle to pass, although I likely could have jumped out there. They were turning, so we'll wait for just a second, let them get in there. But there we go, very nice tight turning radius. Now I've moved over from normal into sport mode. There is a little bit of a noticeable difference. So if you need that extra horsepower, or that extra punch, I should say, the engine gaining RPM a little faster, go into sport mode and you should be just fine. The one thing I like to tell people is make sure you drive these vehicles for yourself before you make a final decision. It's one thing to tell you about it in one of these videos on YouTube. It's something else for you to get in the vehicle and actually have some hands-on experience for yourself to determine what you think is acceptable and what is not. The gas pedal is very easy to manage. By my experience, the brake pedal is a little soft, but when you step on the brakes, that doesn't slow down any slower than you might expect. It still does a good job of slowing down at a proper pace, but for the feel of the pedal, it does feel a little bit spongy. But some people might be used to that. Remember, that's one of the things I like to talk about as well. That's why you need to drive these vehicles for yourself. I'm used to a completely different vehicle as far as my daily driver goes. And so to me, it's going to feel one way. To someone else, it might not feel that way. It just depends on what your experience is and what you're comfortable with. But overall, I'd say the Grand Highlander is a very enjoyable vehicle to drive, easy to see out of. Could it use more horsepower? Well, yeah, it could. But in my opinion, I think it does the job for what it is. Most people are going to be able to do just fine with what they have here, and it will meet their needs. And there it is, the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Limited in front-wheel drive. Is it the right mid-size SUV for you? Tell me what your thoughts are down in the comments. What does it have that you're looking for? What does it not have that you're looking for? I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I would like to say a special thanks to my friends at Yoakum Toyota for loaning me this Grand Highlander for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Please share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.